Janice Watson-Huggins is my guest, and I still am fascinated with the concept of the Bail Bond Institute, you know.
Yes.
If the persons that you put up money to help
Yes.
abscond, you're in trouble.
Yes, I have to pay that out of my pocket.
Has that ever happened to you?
It has happened a number of times. When it does, it's actually a civil suit that we have to go through for that person who signed the paperwork to pay that bond.
The guarantor.
That's why, yes, that's why it's a contract.
Do you have to be a notary public to do something like this?
It's not a requirement, but it's important because every single contract that is signed, it has to be notarized. So I'm also a notary public, and I am also a licensed realtor in the state of Florida.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Let me bring you back to the University of the West Indies. We mentioned that just before we took the break. You went to the University of the West Indies. What did you study for your first degree? And in the introduction, I said you're the first person in your family to get to that educational level.
Yes, I studied international relations and political science as a minor.
Why did you choose those two?
To be honest with you, I wanted to know more about what was going on in the international sphere, what happens between different countries, trade relations, and so forth. So I actually did some electives in the beginning, and that's why I switched over to international relations. Political science came in because I always watch the news, I always read the newspaper, I'm always in tune with foreign affairs, everything, whether local or international, so I believe that it fused right in.
What did you do your master's in?
I also did my master's in government.
Now, is it that, what went before? Your association with former Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Edward Seaga, or the choice of your subjects that pushed you into an association with him?
To be honest, how I started working there, it was by mere coincidence.
Working where?
Working with the Most Honorable Edward Seaga.
While he was at the University of the West
Yes.
Indies? He had a chair there, yes?
Yes, so what happened was that after I finished my first degree, I wanted a job. And in the library where the office is located, they are always hiring student workers. So I was walking around campus, handing out my resumes. I actually went to the wrong office. They told me to go to the right, but it was actually on the left. So when I went there, Mrs. Bradford, who was my supervisor, when I told her that I wanted to drop my resume off, she said, you know, we have a position that's available. At the time, it was a data entry clerk. So I was interviewed on the spot that day, and I started work on the Monday. That was a Friday. I started working on the Monday. I actually did not know that I was working with Mr. Seaga until the Monday. And actually, that was his birthday. That Monday was the 28th of May. Yes, and that's when I met him. And I was also promoted. During those years, I worked with him for 6 years. I was his research assistant, executive assistant.
Let's talk about that day when you realized, it's former Prime Minister,
yes,
Most Honorable Edward Seaga. What was your reaction, and how did he receive you?
He received me with open arms, to be honest. What you see on the TV, as a politician, he is a total opposite in person. He's a very warm, friendly person. He has never spoken to me about politics in terms of, he doesn't know if I've ever voted before. That was never a conversation. It was more about life experiences because what my job entailed was we did a lot of research and collecting data on his life. We wrote also his autobiography. We put that together. It's in 2 volumes. We also did a number of work on his music projects, the origins of Jamaican music. A lot of people did not know he was in music production along with Miss Babsy
in his
Grange.
early days, yes.
I learned so much from him, and also the Grenada intervention. He developed a lot of...
If there's one thing that jumps out, that, while you're working with Mr. Seaga, this was something that will never leave your mind, either something to do with his personality or something you discovered about him, or as you did your research, what would it be?
To be honest, he was also involved in my research. Yes.
You'd be stupid not to have had him involved.
Yes. He was always into education. What he said, if you're doing something such as a doctorate, make sure it's something that can be of value not only to yourself, but to your country. And that's why I did all my data collection and everything here in Jamaica. And I'm also deciding to continue the research because I would love to see gamification or some type of technology in the classrooms where students are able to feel good about the subjects and have fun while learning.
You mentioned Gordon Swaby earlier on, and we know that at EdD Focal he's leading in that regard. Yes. Would you collaborate with him or partner with him to get more done in this area?
Definitely, and that's something that's in the pipeline that I have on my to-do list. I spoke with him on a few occasions, so he will be aware of what I'm talking about.
Yes, and we don't want you to get out too much at this point.
Yes.
Your experience at Nova Southeastern University was a very rewarding one.
Yes.
You did very well. You're parts of societies, and talk about that.
Okay, so I am the immediate past president for the Student Government Society. I'm also the only African American president that was voted in to represent the students. I was also the vice president of the Kappa Delta Pi Honor Society. It's a honor society for educators only, and you have to be in the top 5 percentile of your graduating class at your university. You are actually selected to become a part of Kappa Delta Pi. You have to be invited. Similar to the other honor society, Phi Kappa Phi, that's also an international honor society where you have to be invited and you have to be in your top 5% percentile in your university.
What kind of work ethic do you have when you're dealing with your academics for you to be achieving at the level that you say you have?
Okay, so I've changed a little bit between my bachelor's and my doctorate. At my bachelor's, I was a little bit more laid back. I wasn't even working. But up to the master's and the doctoral level, I believe I was more focused because for me, I'm saying this is something that I really want, and working and going to school is not easy. So every chance that I get, I have to open that book. So I believe that it moved sometimes my hours of going to bed are 3 a.m. in the morning, and I have to be up again by 5 a.m. to be at work by 7 a.m. back to school, because I did my degree hybrid. So that means I went to school online and I also went to school in the classroom. It was a mixture.
It's a mixture. We're coming back right after this break with the final segment of my conversation with Janice. So glad that you're here. This is Profile. Stay with us.